everybody, and welcome back to my 2024 coaster rankings. For those of you who don't know, I have 115 coaster credits, and this is my ranking of them. This part will go over numbers 76 to 41, because I made a mistake in the numbering and I want an even top 40. Let's begin, and just like the last one, I'll show the ranking from my 2023 list of 73 credits, and how much they changed. Number 76, Invader at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I got a pretty bad ride on this one this year, as it was bizarrely rough. This isn't too surprising. It's one coaster that was 7 years old last time I rode it, but Mystic Timbers was the same age last time I rode it, and it ran butter smooth. This coaster has a decent layout, leading more to the family side, and it has the signature transitions of GCI. Number 75, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom. If you're actually paying attention to the thing in the top right corner, this coaster somehow managed to place in the top 20 in my 2023 rankings. Anyways, like I said in part 1 with Disneyland's Big Thunder, I actually prefer this one because of its roughness. It makes the ride more rowdy, which makes up for less theming. Numbers 74 to 71, all mountain coasters. So most of my mountain coasters go here, not all. For reference, it's Goats on the Roof, Ripley's Mountain Coaster, Wild Stallion, and Smoky Mountain Alpine Coaster. Some are longer, some are shorter, taller, faster, but mainly potato. These usually have a very long cable lift, barely banked turns, and controllable speed. They're usually a pretty fun time. Number 70, Dragon Flyer at Dollywood. Vekoma redeemed themselves from their old family inverts and made some really good stuff for the new ones. This coaster has a really fun first drop followed by a great turnaround, but after that the ride slows down a bit. However, this ride 6 years later also still ran butter smooth. Number 69, Backlot Stunt Coaster at King's Dominion. These coasters have one of the most surprisingly intense moments ever with the triple helix at the start, and after that it's alright with the sign effect being cool. Also, this and Kings Island are separated because of the theming. Number 68, Super Duper Looper at Hershey Park. This is as basic as you can get with a looping coaster. One loop, some turns, a great stepping stone coaster. Number 67, Rougarou at Cedar Point. This coaster used to be a stand-up called Mantis, but it got a new name in Floorless Trains in 2016. It has an alright layout, with the incline loop being my favorite part. This ride is kinda rattly in some spots though. Number 66, Backlot Stunt Coaster at Kings Island. Same deal with KD, but with extra effects. Number 65, Fairly Odd Coaster at Nickelodeon Universe in the Mall of America. The basic model of Gerstlauer spinning coasters, and this is the only one I've ridden. It can get chaotic, and it has a decent layout. Number 64, Reptilian at King's Dominion. This is the only bobsled coaster I've ridden, and now only one of 2 in the US, thanks Cedar Fair. And it's really fun. It even gets quite crazy near the end. It does vibrate across the bobsled track because of the nature of the track, but it is quite fun. Number 63, Adventure Express at Kings Island. I believe this is one of my highest ranked mine trains, and for good reason. It has a fun sprawling terrain layout full of dips and turns, classic janky fun. Then the ending happens. You get dragged up this chain lift full of screaming animatronic temple gods, and then you get off the chain lift and into the final brakes. Why? Just why? I get you need to get the trains back up, but like putting a dropper or a helix or something besides the brakes immediately. And even worse, you hype up the chain lift with theming, which isn't on the rest of the ride. Gosh, I hate this element. It is the biggest buzzkill on a coaster. So yeah, that drops the coaster a little. Number 62, Racer 75 at King's Dominion. Yes, a classic old wooden coaster. It races, sometimes, and it's pretty fun. Although on my 2024 rides, the ride was running rough on the wheel seats. Mild floater, fun tunnel, pretty good ride. Number 61, Avatar Airbender at the Nickelodeon Universe in the Mall of America. It is genuinely insane to me how we're having coasters that place in the bottom half of my 2023 ranking, and also coasters that almost place in the top 25 at the same ranking. Anyways, this is a pretty fun shuttle coaster with spinning seats and vertical spikes. Number 60, Comet at Hershey Park. This one got knocked down pretty far as well, mainly because they replaced the buzz bars, although I didn't ride it this 2024. Not this year, even though I'm recording that, so it's cool. This is a pretty fun old wooden coaster. Again, some really good floater, but when it had buzz bars, it also felt chaotic in some spots. Get back the buzz bars. Number 59, Racer at Kings Island. Basically Racer 75, but has a bit of a better layout. Number 58, Gemini at Cedar Point. While other coasters fell more this year, this one might have fallen the most in my mind. Gemini used to be this awesome coaster to me. It was one of the biggest coasters I would ride back when I was scared of big ones. So imagine my surprise when I returned to Cedar Point years later, now a full-on coaster enthusiast, and instead of the biggest coaster in the park to me, it's just some random coaster in between Magnum and Steel Vengeance. I give it a ride on my second day. Literally everything got closed because of a storm that first day. And it's got 2,763 potholes. They hurt every time. The size and speed really help it, and there is some decent floater, but it really fell in my mind. Number 57, Lost Mine Mountain Coaster in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So, you know how I said most mountain coasters in the mountain coaster spot? This is the exception. It had great theming, not very automatically trimmed, and had multiple shorter chain lifts instead of one long one, which was super cool. Number 56, Tempesto at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This clone coaster has a fantastic layout with hang time, ejector, airtime, and laterals. But there was one thing I hate about it. I don't even know why I said it like that. I'm getting fed up with this because it didn't save my last one. Like, I'm keeping this in. I don't care. They're so annoying to get in and out of, and they dig into you on the ride. It's not like Adventure Express levels of one bad thing, but it is pretty bad. Number 55, Space Mountain at Disneyland. So this is a similar case to Big Thunder Mountain where the rougher the more rowdy, but this one gets knocked down less than Big Thunder did for being smoother, because this one has music on it, and if I remember correctly, that music is great. Number 54, Toonbilly at King's Dominion. Ranked bizarrely high last time, but it is sort of fun. It's a free spin, so it freely flips you, like the name says. The most I've gotten is 2 flips, but maybe it is more with more people. Sometimes it is crazy though. Number 53, Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom. Literally just Disneyland's, but more insane and no music. Seriously, those turns are wild. Number 52, Carolina Cyclone at Carowinds. The first coaster with 4 inversions ever, and it is fun. That drop is insane, and the loops are great. The double corkscrew, however, is rattly, and the helix at the end hurts. Number 51, Invertigo at Kings Island. I tried to get on this coaster, but it kept on closing. It wasn't until the last day that it was open, and I rushed to get on. It was fun, the loop was cool backwards, and it was surprisingly not very rattly. Number 50, Corkscrew at Valleyfair. Okay, if you saw part 1, you know that I got over my fear of inversions on this coaster, so maybe I am a little biased, but I do remember it being really fun. Number 49, Wild Mouse at Cedar Point. No, this isn't a joke. This was seriously some insane fun. The layout is great, the theming on the cars is great, and my third, yes, I rode it 3 times, ride spun an insane amount. Number 48, Laugh Track at Hershey Park. Hershey Park is weird because I've been to it a lot, but somehow I've still never in Skyrush, Storm Runner, Wildcats Revenge, and a bunch of others. Anyways, this coaster is another spinning family coaster, but it has some great theming and is ultra smooth. Number 47, Flight of Fear at King's Dominion. The top 15 for my old rankings? What? Anyways, fun launch coaster with great inversions and some good theming. Number 46, Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. A great arrow with fun interlocking loops, and the new theming from the refurbishment was great. Just don't ride in the front. Number 45, Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. Basically Flight of Fear, but there's Aerosmith music blasting and there's some fun LA signage everywhere. I wonder what it's gonna look like with the Muppets. Number 44, Wild Eagle at Dollywood. This one got knocked way down this year because I got a nasty ride where the vest restraint was so tight and there was a bad rattle. But it still has a fun layout with great inversions, so it's almost a par 3. Number 43, Wild Thing at Valleyfair. Fun, boring, smooth, mid. These are all things you can say about the Morgan Hyper at Valleyfair. I bet not all of you can say it made you get over your fear of tall coasters, because that's my tale. Anyways, yeah, boring but fun and smooth. Number 42, Mystery Mine at Dollywood. The sometimes rough, sometimes good, and great second half Gerstlauer Eurofighter with one of the coolest dive loops out there. Number 41, The Bat at Kings Island. And to end off part 2, we have a fantastic aero-suspended coaster where it feels like it's never running out of steam, and it just feels like it keeps on getting faster. Have you seen how much those trains rotate on the brake run? Anyways, part 2 is over. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the top 40 coasters, or part 3, coming out in 2 weeks.